Welcome to my channel. HFY Sci-Fi Chronicles LETS began. Humans kept fighting after death. That sentence should not exist. I know because I recorded it myself. My name has no human sound. Their mouths cannot shape it. The closest translation is witness of failures. I served the Dominion for 112 orbital cycles. I studied conquered civilizations. Every species surrendered. Always. The weak surrendered first. The strong surrendered later. But they surrendered. That was the oldest law in the galaxy. Humans arrived to prove the galaxy had been wrong. At first, we laughed. Their ships looked primitive. Their engines burned too hot. Their weapons used explosive shells like relics from forgotten ages. Even their armor looked heavy. Wasteful. I concluded they lacked efficiency. Efficiency wins wars. It always had. Then we entered the Soul border. Our scanners found only 7 military vessels. 7. Against our invasion fleet of 8,000. I assumed the humans misunderstood numbers. Perhaps mathematics had evolved differently on their world. Our high commander smiled through his breathing folds. This will finish before the next rotation. Everyone agreed. I agreed louder than anyone. Humans were mammals. Mammals protected territory. When surrounded, they panicked. That was my first conclusion. It would become my first mistake. The 7 human ships never retreated. Instead, they spread apart. Far apart. I thought they were fleeing individually. Cowards often scattered before surrender. Then every ship transmitted the same message. Not to us. To each other. No speeches. No battle cries. Only one sentence. We hold. That confused me. Hold what? There was nothing behind them except empty space. Our fleet advanced. Their ships opened fire. The first volley accomplished nothing. Our shields ignored it. As expected, I noted this in my report. Primitive weapons. Minimal threat. Recommended immediate capture. Then the second volley arrived. It was identical. Equally ineffective. Humans repeated failure. That fascinated me. Most intelligent species changed tactics after failure. Humans duplicated it. Again. 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 I concluded they could not learn. The Dominion celebrated. Then our left formation disappeared. Not exploded. Disappeared. An entire cruiser folded inward. Metal screamed. Gravity bent. The ship collapsed into a point smaller than dust. No energy spike. No warning. Nothing. One moment. Gone the next. My instruments failed. Science failed. Our commander demanded answers. None existed. The human shells had not pierced shields. They had struck the shields repeatedly. Exactly. The same location. Thousands of impacts. Each individually meaningless. Together. Reality cracked. I rejected that conclusion immediately. Reality cannot crack. Therefore something else happened. I never found that something. The battle continued. Our fleet reorganized. That always solved battlefield uncertainty. Ships drifted independently. Some accelerated directly toward impossible. I marked them as panicked. They ignored every accepted doctrine. No coordination. No preservation. Every reckless ship forced our fleet to rotate. Every rotation exposed another weak angle. Every weak angle attracted another endless stream of shells. I realized the humans were not disorganized. They simply used a system too irrational for us to... That thought disturbed me. It should have frightened me. Instead, I dismissed it. Intelligence seeks order. Humans look like chaos. Chaos cannot think. That was my second mistake. The 7th human ship exploded. Our bridge celebrated. 6 remained. Then 5. Then 4. Each destruction made the survivors fight harder. That violated every psychological model. Loss reduces morale. Fear increases surrender probability. Those were universal truths. Humans ignored them. I concluded they had defective emotions. No species could function that way. Then our sensors detected life signs. Inside destroyed human ships. Impossible. The vessels had become expanding clouds of molten debris. Nothing organic could survive. Yet biological signals continued. Some even increased. Boarding drones confirmed the readings. We watched through drone cameras. Human soldiers crawled across burning wreckage. Without pressure suits. Without atmosphere. Without reason. One had lost both legs. He continued loading ammunition. Another's arm hung by strands of tissue. She dragged herself forward using the other arm. A third human should not have possessed a head. Most of it was missing. He still fired. I ordered the drones recalibrated. Faulty sensors. Faulty cameras. Faulty interpretation. 3 systems cannot fail simultaneously. Therefore, humans must possess unknown biology. That explanation satisfied me. I would cling to it for far too long. Our commander ordered boarding actions. Capture specimens. Study them. Understand them. Simple. Logical. Safe. Thousands of assault pods entered the human flagship. Our soldiers expected terrified survivors. Instead, they found music. Loud. Violent. Rhythmic. No military purpose. Humans filled battlefields with sound. I concluded it was a mating ritual. Nothing else explained such irrational behavior. The recordings still exist. I refuse to hear them. Even now. Because every time the music grew louder, human resistance became stronger. Our boarding teams vanished. Hallway after hallway. Deck after deck. Helmet feeds ended with static. No screams. Only impacts. Metal bending. Heavy footsteps. Then silence. Barely. He repeated one sentence. They smiled. No one understood. Smiling indicates pleasure. Combat is not pleasurable. His mind had fractured. That was my official report. I believed it. Until I reviewed the recordings myself. The footage was damaged. Broken. Incomplete. Enough remained. A corridor. Emergency lights. Smoke. A lone human stood there. Blood covered half the face. The left arm hung uselessly. The weapon had our soldiers advanced confidently. The human smiled. Then charged anyway. Why? There was nothing left to fight with. Nothing left to gain. Nothing left to protect. The flagship was already dying. I concluded humans could not recognize defeat. A neurological defect. Tragic. Predictable. Explainable. I desperately wanted it to be explainable, because the alternative waited quietly inside my thoughts. What if humans understood defeat and simply refused to obey it? Before I could answer, the flagship detonated. Not from our weapons. From inside. Every remaining human had triggered the reactors. Our boarding force disappeared with them. Victory belonged to us. Technically. Strategically. Statistically. Yet no one celebrated. 8,000 ships had entered the system. 7 human ships had met us. When the battle ended, we counted our losses before we counted our victories. And for the first time in Dominion history, I began to wonder if surrender had never been humanity's language at all. The colonies looked abandoned. Cities were dark. Factories silent. Orbital stations drifted without power. The High Commander laughed. They finally understand. Every officer agreed, including me. Humans had learned. Pain teaches. Extinction teaches faster. This was surrender. It had to be. That was my third mistake. Our fleets landed across 12 worlds. No defenders. No civilians. Nothing. Entire continents stood empty. Dinner remained on tables. Children's toys rested in gardens. Machines still hummed. People. Gone. I concluded humans had fled. Cowardice. Predictable. Our occupation began. Then our supply ships vanished. Not destroyed. Missing. 100 transports disappeared between stars. Navigation logs showed impossible routes. Pilots insisted space itself had changed. We blamed equipment. Equipment never protested. Humans did. More ships vanished. Fuel reserves exploded. Communication relays transmitted human songs instead of Dominion codes. Artificial intelligences resigned. Resigned. Machines do not resign. I concluded humans possessed unmatched cyber warfare. It sounded reasonable. It wasn't. Then the disappearances reached planets. Entire garrisons stopped responding. No distress calls. No battles. Just silence. We searched ruined cities. Nothing. Only footprints. Human footprints. Fresh. Always leading deeper. Never returning. The commander ordered pursuit. Thousands entered underground tunnels. Only 12 emerged. They spoke nonsense. The walls moved. Doors hunted us. They knew our names. Hallucinations. Fear poisons memory. That explanation comforted everyone. Until I volunteered. Not from courage. From arrogance. I believed my mind stronger than theirs. The tunnels were old. Older than human civilization. Stone impossible to identify. Every scanner failed. Distances changed. Corridors stretched. Echoes answered before I spoke. I concluded the structure generated electromagnetic interference. Another comforting lie. My squad numbered 32. Perfect formation. Weapons ready. No fear. A sound echoed ahead. Footsteps. Human footsteps. One person. Impossible. We surrounded the corridor. Empty. The footsteps continued. Behind us. Still empty. My soldiers fired. The walls absorbed every shot. No ricochet. No damage. Just silence. Then we found the first message. Painted by hand. Red. Still wet. We knew you'd follow. I assumed it was recent. It wasn't. Carbon dating later revealed impossible results. The paint had dried. 31 years before we invaded. Humans had prepared for enemies they had never met. I refused to believe it. Prophecy does not exist. Planning does. So they guessed. Perfectly. We continued deeper. The air grew warmer, then colder. Gravity shifted sideways. My soldiers began arguing. Each claimed the tunnel looked different. I saw only one path. They saw many. I concluded stress damaged perception. Another lie. The shooting started without warning. Human rifles erupted from darkness. Precise. Controlled. Invisible. We returned fire. Nothing. Only empty stone. One by one, my soldiers disappeared. Not killed. Pulled into darkness. No screams. Only sudden absence. I called retreat. No exit remained. The tunnel behind us had become solid rock. Physics collapsed. Reason followed. Hours later. Impossible underground. He looked at me. Smiled. Not the smile from the recordings. Not madness. Not rage. Sadness. He offered water. Water. To an invader. I concluded it was poison. He drank first. I still refused. He nodded as if expecting that. No threats. No speeches. Only one question. Are you tired yet? I did not answer. Because I was. He somehow knew. How? He pointed upward. You think war is about winning. I recorded every word. For us, he continued, war is about lasting longer. I rejected the statement immediately. Wars end with victory. Everyone knows that. He quietly shook his head. No. He stood. Slowly. Painfully. Every movement revealed old injuries. Scars. Burns. Missing fingers. He had survived countless battles. Not because he was strongest. Because he refused to stop. You think we're defending planets. He smiled again. You're chasing bait. Then every wall around us awakened. Not machines. Names. Millions of names. Human names. Projected across the stone. Endless. Every war. Every disaster. Every generation. Each name belonged to someone dead. Or so I assumed. The old man touched one name. It changed color. Green. Alive. Another. Green. Another. Thousands. still alive. I finally understood. Not biology. Not technology. Not madness. Memory. The humans never fought as individuals. Every survivor carried the unfinished lives of countless others. Every loss became another reason to continue. Death reduced nothing. It multiplied resolve. That was the pattern. I had been studying soldiers. I should have been studying inheritance. The old man looked directly into my eyes. You've been invading humanity. He paused. You never noticed humanity isn't a place. My translator hesitated, then delivered the sentence anyway. I felt something my species rarely experiences. Dread. Alarms erupted across my communicator. Every occupied world reported simultaneous attacks. Not armies. People. Teachers. Farmers. Doctors. Engineers. Children now grown. Elders who had hidden. Entire populations emerged at once. Not to survive. To reclaim. Every tunnel. Every forest. Every ocean. Every ruined city. The empty colonies had never been abandoned. They had become traps. Humanity had surrendered the ground to surround the future. 40,000 Dominion ships suddenly became isolated islands. No supplies. No trust. No safe rear. Every shadow contained resistance. Every silence concealed planning. The invasion collapsed from inside. Not in days. In hours. The Dominion ordered full retreat. For the first time in our recorded history, my transport barely escaped. As we entered faster than light travel, I looked back. Earth remained. Scarred. Burning. Standing. No victory parade. No celebration. Only rebuilding had already begun. Humans were lifting steel before the smoke had cleared. I finally understood the impossible statement I had recorded at the beginning. Humans do fight after death. Not because corpses rise. Not because ghosts carry rifles. But because every living human carries the will of those who never came home. The galaxy expected surrender. Humanity answered with inheritance. And now, whenever a young officer asks me why the Dominion never returned to Sol, I tell them the only honest thing I have ever said.